everyone.
Thank you.
Hopefully, this new year will bring good things to all of us. And we continue to thrive in a positive direction. All right, so we have, we all have an agenda, right?
Yes, we do now.
So, we have, one thing we have on agenda today is a presentation of street code naming. Marion, do we have a quorum?
Oh, yeah. Yes, here we have one.
Oh, we do have quorum. Okay, so I would like to start a discussion, right? All right.
Good evening, happy New Year to all. My name is Robert Barnes, a member of the Municipal Service and Justice Committee. Environmental Justice Committee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Argelia Ortiz, board member, and I serve on this committee.
I'm Jadine Buxton, board member.
Ronnie Lugo, board member.
Carolyn Chamorro, board member.
Josephine Fernandez Fern, board member, committee member.
Oju de Jesus, board member, committee member.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
Also. Next.
Janine Ortiz, granddaughter.
Gladys Rowe, Denise.
Question. Grandson.
Julio Ortiz, son-in-law.
Next.
Margaret Ferguson, niece.
Kamal Boone, grandson.
Next.
Great granddaughter. Sherry Monet Boone, granddaughter.
Bridget Maggie Rose Ortiz, daughter.
Marion Tiny Franklin, I was considered as her godson and one of her youth mentors.
Sharice Rose Ziegler, daughter.
Renee McKelvey, niece.
Beverly Johnson, family to the friend, family to the mother.
Daniel Ziegler, grandson.
There was more than the person that came in with a child in hand.
Bridget Ortiz, granddaughter.
And anyone else?
Abby Johnson, family friend.
And then we, just for the record.
Stephen Palmer, community coordinator, Bronx Community Board. Good evening.
Anthony Jordan, district manager to the board. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure if you're speaking for the first time for the record, because our meeting is audio transcript, so say your name, so that the system can be recorded as your name every time you speak. And our meeting is being broadcast live on Bronx Community Board 1 YouTube page. So again, if you're speaking for the first time, make sure you say your first and your last name so the system can recognize your voice each time you speak. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. District Manager. If you have to move forward here, I'm sure that they have all the requirement.
Yes.
You gave them, they meet all the requirement that
They are prepared for the presentation.
and we have also presented to them what the conditions are.
Yes,
So we
Mr.
don't
Chairman.
have to get into it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead with the presentation.
Who's going to be the first person speaking up for the family? Please stand or come to the table so you can speak. The system will pick you up, so. Who's going to be the first one? Can you stand up and walk closer to the table so that you can present to the board? Who's going to be first?
Your name?
Bridget Ortiz.
For the recording.
Right there. Step up to the chair.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Bridget Ortiz, and I'm speaking on behalf of my grandmother. So, hello, everyone. My name is Bridget, and I am the proud granddaughter of Marion Rose. My grandmother was a phenomenal woman who wore many hats. Her presence lit up every room she walked into, and even if you never met her, you wouldn't forget who she was. For those of you who may not know or have a chance to know her personally, I want to take a moment to share just how special she truly was. She wasn't just a one-of-a-kind grandmother, but she was a phenomenal woman, a mother, a sister, a friend. She was a leader and a trailblazer. My grandmother was the first Black woman district leader in her time. She was an activist who opened doors for many people of color and never hesitated to stand up for her community. She dedicated her life to service, supporting nonprofit work, helping kids off the street, advocating for summer youth programs, and making sure young people had opportunities and safe spaces to grow. She believed deeply in community pride and visibility. One example that always stood out to me is when she told me that there was an event called Hal Jackson Teen Talent Show. This show normally was held in Chelsea, but after speaking with the person who ran it, she brought that joy and recognition to the Mont Haven community. She made people feel safe, seen, and heard. On a personal level, she was my safe space. The talks we had, the advice she gave, the love she showed me shaped who I am today. She taught me the importance of standing firm in who you are, giving back, and never forgetting where you came from. Her strength, wisdom, and compassion live on through me and everyone she touched. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I do want to say this. Naming a street after Marion Rose isn't just about honoring one woman. It's about honoring a legacy of her leadership, service, and love for her community. Her name deserves to live on in every place she worked so hard to uplift. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Is there someone else who would like to speak for the record? Please stand up for the
How can I follow that? Hello, my name is Renee McKelvey. I'm the niece of Marion Rose. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say, but I could say one thing. My aunt was a hard worker in the community. For those who knew her well, she would not leave the kids outside. She had us tap dancing, running track, volunteering for the marathon. This is what the community is missing now, a leader like herself. She had us working in summer youth programs. If we had more Marion Rose around, it would be less shooting, less gun violence, less people on the street to rob people. I mean, she really did a lot for the community, the children, back to school block parties. I think she deserves the street, like her granddaughter said. Her name could live on, her legacy. It's so much I could go on and on and on. I know she had me tired running around with her. So, I mean, she deserved this. She was a good woman. And everybody, she didn't care who you was, a stranger. She would give you the clothes off her back. She created things that we didn't have. She created. If you give her ideas, she would make a safe space in Mont Haven Center and create something for us to do, just to keep the youth off the street. So I think no one deserves a sign like her. And thank you for listening.
Is there anybody else who speak for the record? Please step up.
Can I stand over here or you want
Whatever
to?
you want to do, as long as the camera catches you. For the record.
The camera hit me, they got enough pictures of me. But
We're not gonna eat that cake.
Okay. My name is Marion Frampton, but they call me Tiny. And where do I start? As I look around the room and I'm looking at all of her generations, I want to say I'm proud to stand here to be able to speak on Marion Rose. I was a former gang member in the 70s, the Black Spades. Okay, most of you guys don't know the Black Spades is one of the most powerful, largest street gang in the city of New York. I came out of the Mont Haven area. I came from a Supreme division. The Spades was so powerful that they split the Bronx up in two, where we had a Supreme president in the South Bronx, not of all Spades, but just the South Bronx. And because I came out of the South Bronx and I was a spokesman, that gave me the title of Supreme Spokesman of the South Bronx. So wherever Spade was in the South Bronx area, I spoke for them. Miss Rose was a phenomenal woman. She picked me up in very early stages of my life, and she adapted to me because I was raised by a mother, none of us with no father. And her and my sister used to hang out together. And she was thrilled with my ability to speak. Yes, I was a fighter. Yes, I've been to jail. Yes, I've been here and I've been there. But I also believe that words was more powerful than guns. And she made me believe it. So she kept me under. She adopted me And when she went places, she introduced me as her godson. Miss Rose, I mean, how phenomenal can you get? Even during the days when the South Bronx was burning, she brought blacks and Puerto Ricans together. Jose Serrano was one of the first district leaders that I know of. She brought the blacks. She came to me and had me bring the spades to get together with the bachelors. We was at war. I didn't give a damn about Jose Serrano because he was Puerto Rican, not knowing that all of us was one at that time. But she brought us together, she made us work together, and we put him in office, okay? She taught us a lot of different things. She taught me a lot of different things. You understand? She got us involved with the movies, the education of Sonny Carson, the Warriors. We got kicked out the education of Sonny Carson because we just went to Brooklyn and just started fighting. And they couldn't take the spades no more, so they kicked us out. But we had major roles in that. I met with Sonny Carson. Miss Rose, you understand, it's like she brought us together with a lot of people. She started the program, you understand, Project Justice. She made me the team leader in Project Justice. You understand where I spoke? I did a lot of speaking. I don't think there's a precinct right now. Well, back then, only the 40th precinct knew me, and only they had my picture. But right now, most of the precincts throughout the Bronx know who I am, and I'll get to that later on of what I'm doing today because of her. Okay, because of what she meant to me and because of a lot of things that she taught me. So it's like she brought us together for a lot of things. As one of the first Black women who ran for district leaders, she ran. We never thought she would win, but she won. She made us believe, when I say they made us, by speaking to me, she spoke to them. Because most of my comrades didn't give a damn about her. Not because they didn't like her or they didn't know her, they didn't care nothing about politics. She's always been a person who wanted to bring people together. And because I was raised by my mother and I was scared of my mother, I believed in her. And she believed in me because, like I said, being raised by my mother, there was a passion inside of me. I've never been a gangster, never, but I've always been in charge. Never been a gangster. I look around here, I see some of you guys, older guys here that come out of 40th Street and all the different Mount Haven area. They all know me. And she taught me to be a very passionate individual, but she couldn't take the meanness out of me because I had to fight to survive. But she taught me how to talk. She taught me how to walk. She taught me how to sit in a room and speak to different people, white and Black. Because as far as I'm concerned, I didn't care nothing about white. But she taught me that in order to get along with people, you had to learn how to talk to people. You ain't got to like people, but you got to know how to respect people. So she put a lot of that inside of me, and she just went on to do a lot of different trailblazing things. I believe that the naming of a street for this young lady, who I call my godmother, is phenomenal. Because back then we didn't have too many Blacks that we can look up to, okay? And she was a role model right there in Mount Haven on 143rd Street, who I stayed in that project and I stayed in these streets until I was 57 years of age. Today I'm 70. January 2nd was my birthday and I just made 70. And I am a producer of Black Space documentary. I have an organization which is called TBS New Direction, which is Black Spades in the New Direction. Everything I do in the name of Black Spades because Black Spades brought me here. But I do it also in the memory of how she taught me how to lead and how to move forward. And right now, I want the world to know that the Black Spades wasn't supposed to be a gang. And that's why she loved me. Because we wasn't supposed to be a gang. We were supposed to be a community-based organization. You understand, I was helping the community, but one thing led to another, so we had to fight to survive. She's a trailblazer, and she needs to be honored. She needs to be respected, and all her grandkids in this room here today, I salute all of them because they should be proud. They should be proud of who she was because she brought people together. You understand? And she did a lot of phenomenal things. And I want to tell you something else before I sit down. You talk about hip hop. The guy that you guys know as Grandmaster Flash, the Furious Five, the creators of hip hop, She brought him to me in 1976. I've been bodyguard and Grandmaster Flash since 1976, even up to today. I still do security for him. And because she believed in him, she wanted him to have protection. She wanted him to be able to come out in the neighborhood and not be threatened. And because I was one of the head leaders in the neighborhood, that's how it came. And today, look at him. He's one of the creators of hip hop, one of the founders, Grammy Awards and all that, still living in the Bronx. So I say to you guys, there's no person well deserving of a street title than her. And you know what though? It's not only for her grandkids and her kids, it's for the people that come out of Mount Haven area and for all of us that know her that's still alive. You understand, to see that we can honor one of our own and that we can have others see and tell the story of who she was, because she was a very phenomenal young lady and she is well deserved of everything. I believe she's more deserving, well deserving than just a street. I don't see why we can't name Mount Haven Center behind her. Because she kept us, this is another brother just came in the room. 2 minutes? Oh, okay, I'm going.
We have some of the line, and then we would let you go next, okay?
You're on. Please state your name for the record, please.
Okay. Hello. My name is Mary Blassingame. I'm one of Marion Rose's oldest friends, and I'm also to the committee, former chair of Community Board for Housing Land Use Committee for 23 years. So I honor and respect the committee's work. I'm a former board member, and I want to say that I met Marion in 1970. I was heading the Black Studies program in District 7, and she walked into my office and told me buy that candy for the kids. But Marion became one of the first parent advocates for the Black Studies program, the Puerto Rican Studies program that we started in 1970. And she was always doing for the community. I remember the Talent Scout shows she would bring together, all the children that we packed in community center, Mount Haven Community Center, her work with Eastside Settlement House. And in those days, before it became popular, the back to school cookouts in the park to give the children school supplies to go to school, to always having the tenant association. She was for housing for the tenants in Mount Haven and an ability to have quality and equality living. But she was fighting for the education of our children in District 7, or all our children. She was at the school board meeting before she became a school board member. She was out there fighting and standing up for the children. She introduced me to New York City Marathon when in the 70s she was conducting that. We have to remember and honor our unsung heroes, because all these things that's being done now are standing on the shoulders of people like Marion Rose. When Jesse Jackson ran for the last presidency, she opened a little office on Willis Avenue and became the de facto office for Jesse Jackson campaign, bringing the community. When the young man talked about the black space, when Sonny Carson had the started the movie Miseducation with Sonny Carson, she stood up and said, I have kids in Mount Haven, pay them. And she brought them in. There was, and it also introduced them to the Paramount movie industry. It was education, it was work with the community, it was political equality, fighting for our rights as people in the South Bronx, for our black and brown citizens. So we need to honor people like Marion Rose, who was running all the time. raising her children. She would come to meetings with Sharice was 2.5 years old, sitting on her lap. She was at meetings. So I want to give honor to my dear friend Marion Rose, who was a warrior, who stood for Mott Haven. And even in the end, even this past year before she died, I'm like, Marion, you need to move from there. No, Mary, let's go out and organize our senior citizens. Let's work to the end. She was still thinking about her community and still fight for Mott Haven. So I support the renaming of 143rd Street, Marion E. Rose Way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to testify before the committee?
My name is Daniel Ziegler, the grandson. I'm speaking on behalf of Sharice Ziegler, the daughter of Marion Rose. And good evening, Chairperson, honorary members of Planning Board Number 1. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak today on behalf of our mother and the mother of this community, Miss Marion E. Rose. My name is Sharice Rose Ziegler. I'm one of the daughters. My siblings and I have shared our mother selflessly with the South Bronx community for over 50 years. Our mother was a driven, trailblazing, and fearless community activist who never took no for an answer when it came to anything involving her community and family. I want to emphasize that her services were always in that order: community first, then family. We understood and respected that politics and community were her passions. In our household, it was clear that it takes a village to make things happen. Everyone looked up to our mother as their neighborhood mother and community warrior. They knew they could trust her to advocate, lead, and fight for the rights of everyone living in this community. Her life was defined by service to the people of the South Bronx. She dedicated herself to advocacy, education, and empowering her community from the 70s until her passing. These early years in the 70s were challenging years when it was not as common for society to hear the voices of the less fortunate. They opened doors for this community to be heard from those times and still today. She advocated for education by serving as the president of the PS 49 PTA, connecting families with schools regarding their children's needs. She became the president of the school board in District 7, tirelessly fighting every day for the best of our children. She was the first Black district leader of the community, served on the 40th Precinct Auxiliary Police Force, walking streets to gain the respect of local gangs to help clean up the neighborhood. She led the tenant patrol in her projects, monitoring and ensuring safety in the community. Additionally, she headed the summer youth programs, providing jobs to the community and helping keep kids on the right track. She worked alongside government surplus programs to distribute free food to the community and was in charge of the yearly New York City Marathon site in the South Bronx for many years. Our mother was well-respected among her peers as well. She campaigned alongside notable figures such as Al Sharpton, Jose Serrano, and Reggie Jackson. Her grassroots activism was recognized for its integrity and her ability to organize people in a loving and meaningful way. Despite her many responsibilities, our mother never lost sight of her importance or her important role being a mother. She raised us while fully engaging with community service. I am a product of this very community, and she taught me to achieve and believe in my passions. I became a successful R&B recording artist assigned to Atlantic Records, starting by serving and performing at her events and local functions. I have become a worldwide artist as part of the duo Changing Faces, working with the best in the industry. I've collaborated with Jay-Z, R. Kelly, and appeared alongside Aretha Franklin, and I continue to travel the world representing my craft and my mother's legacy of service, resilience, and excellence. From the moment she set her sights on the fight she served, even when cancer didn't allow her to have her boots on the ground, she was still available to encourage and advise those who reached out to her. She never stopped fighting, and we want to do the same for her in honoring her name. Renaming a street in her honor would serve as a permanent reminder of the power of grassroots leadership, selfless service, and commitment. It would inspire today's youth that change begins with dedication not only to oneself but the community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Chairman, you want to hear a bit more?
I
Yes,
think
more.
I
Yes.
think she was getting up.
Yes.
I'm getting up to say,
Yeah, please.
my name is Bridget Marion Rose Ortiz. I would like to thank the committee for giving me this opportunity to come here today to present my mother to honor her name, the street naming. Without you guys, it wouldn't be possible. So that's my honor to you guys. I respect you gratefully and helpfully. Thank you because I'm very sentimental right now. And thank you for this honor. And I thank Mr. Jordan for giving me the opportunity. He stuck with me every day by day, making me sure I have everything correct, making sure I have everything on point. And to this day, even though Monday, he makes sure everything was on point for me to be here today. So I appreciate you very much. I appreciate the board for having us here today. And I hope that this will come through and make a wonderful day for our street naming. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Is there anyone else? So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, for the record, just wanted to go over what was added to the package to say that that according to the policies, the family presented a clear bio with a photograph, letters of support from notarized from family, all living immediate relatives, children, to say that there's no objection to the street code renaming. Without objection from this committee and the full board. Also a signed letter from Assembly Woman Amanda Septimo to speak to the to show that the elected officials are supporting it, and that according to our team, we are at 172, which meets the threshold of signatures for people who live in the immediate community that will be impacted by the proposed street change. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Really, I'm really moved to see the family. I can tell the love, I can feel the love that was really within the community this is the first time I've seen having from the grandkid to into the old child. I mean, this, I think, I can tell from the accomplishment that he did here that he really is somebody that is going to be missed. And I think that if we can all do like her, I think that our community will be much better than what it used to be. But again, we're going to proceed. Yeah, we're going to proceed now with questions from the board member.
I'm overwhelmed because I knew your mother, because she knew my mother. She helped open the door for my mother when my mother stayed Assemblywoman Carmen Arroyo. It's a coincidence how this is before us, and it touched me. The picture that you put there was beautiful. I'm gonna get sentimental because that's how I remember her. So she did a lot for the community. She also helped me when I was working in PS 49. I worked in District 7. She always guided me. I was part of a joint member with the Black Spades. I used to hang out at St. Mary's when we used to have our parties there on Wednesdays. Your mom was always there making sure that there was peace, there was no fights. And we're talking the 70s. So I walked those her shoes sometimes because she's part of who I am and my mom. Because my mother was the first Hispanic elected official, and your mother had a lot to do with that. So I'm happy to see the love here, and it's amazing how you see the different generations. I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow. I recognize some of you guys when we were all younger, because I'm 65. So I'm glad that this is happening. It's well deserved.
Thank you.
So I just have a comment. Being like one of the younger persons on this community board, I want to like say the same thing. It's amazing to see like the different generations here speaking out to the character that she was. And I feel like there's not really enough words to describe the type of woman that she was by what all the stories that you guys have. And I feel like the street naming would be the perfect way to do that. Some of the stuff that like I made note of is that she was very fearless. Like, you know, we can complain now about how hard it is to get things accomplished, but imagine like being in her shoes in the 70s and the time period that she was and all the things that she was able to get done. And it spoke towards like her loyalty to her community. And it was like a true blessing to the Bronx, especially the youth, because that is something that we need. Like I speak about it all the time, being a part of the youth. And I want to say like the street naming, I think it would be a perfect way to honor her turf because she made it her turf by her innovation and her dedication. And I think like just having that street name there would be very wonderful for the people who pass by, especially the kids, being that it's around the school area, to be able to research her name to see what's possible for them and that somebody was fighting for them. Because a lot of times, even I complain about it, like I don't feel like there's a lot of people fighting for the youth. And she was a person who clearly was. So just having that standard set, it'll allow people to continue it. And I hope that the family continues to not only show what her accomplishments was, but to show people how she succeeded in them. Of course, there was failures. Of course, like, you know, it wasn't easy because of the time period. But if you can show the youth how they can still get things done, like there was a gentleman who spoke, he said that she taught him how to talk to people. That's an important thing that people lack. You don't even see like basic manners anymore. So if somebody in the family or if everyone in the family took the initiative to have these things to show people how to succeed with what they want, I think it would be very beneficial. So I am in full support of this.
Thank you.
My name is Robert Barnes. As most of you know, I grew up around Marhaven. My sister Patricia Barnes worked very close with Ms. Rose. I started politics at 86, but I really didn't start politics until I met Marion Rose. That's when I really knew how to organize and, you know, run elections. We started running election on the cold February, elected Jose Serrano, but nobody would be out there in the cold weather. Remember, February used to be real cold, and we was on them doors, phone banking, and we got him elected on the special election. To me, this is really long overdue. This should have been done many years ago. And again, to the family, I grew up around you guys. I was one of the youngest that used to go to Clark, and when they used to jam out there, she'd be like, get your butt upstairs. Don't hang out there. So I really appreciate you guys coming and doing this honor for Ms. Rose. She was the greatest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I did know Mrs. Rose, but I like Audrey said, I'm emotional because of the things that you've said about her. And I wish I had known her because she sounded like a fantastic person. We need to clone her. We need a lot more of her in this day and age, especially with the way the youth are going. So thank you for finally coming. And we will certainly hope that the street will be named after her. And many, many other things that she deserves. Thank you.
Yes, well, Argelia Ortiz, I was only a teenager when I met Marion Rose. And that was during a time in history when everything was so demolished and dilapidated. We had to learn how to help each other out. And she was the one that taught us how it was one hand reaching out to the other. That's how we survived. That's why we're here today. So very similar, I'm repeating what everyone has said really. This is long overdue. Okay, so we are looking forward to this day. This will be a great day of celebration. But most of all, I see people of all generations here. Even the young child that's sitting right there. What a role model. What an amazing role model this will be. There are people of all backgrounds here, of all generations, okay, here, and this is beautiful. And we're gonna keep this going on as we're getting ready to celebrate soon the MLK Day, Martin Luther King. Well, she was my Martin indirectly. You know what I'm saying? We're keeping that dream alive through Marion Rose. Okay, so looking forward to this day, and thank you so much for bringing this forth.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else? I think y'all better have chosen a very big street. Because from what I'm hearing, I don't think she deserves a corner street. I think, man, y'all better have chosen a very larger street where everybody will be on that side. I'm just saying, because with somebody like this, I don't know if you're gonna put him in the corner of the street or not. I don't know. I wanna put in a major. All right.
So, Mr. Chairman, before we move forward, I just want to make sure that we understand the process for everyone before you call the question. Okay, I mean, sir?
Yes.
So this, if this issue passes this committee, it has to go to the full board, which is the last Thursday in the month, which you'll be invited, for those who can make it back for a full board to ratify the vote. And then next it goes to city council. The city council member from the area has to take it up. They take up this issue only twice a year. So, there's the new leadership and the council is forming itself. It goes twice a year before the Committee on Parks, Recreation, which is a committee that makes the determination. And then if it passes the city council, the Department of Transportation has to set up a time that usually in summer or the hot season where it works with the family to do a ceremony outside in the street, where the council member, other elected officials, more families, as I can just say, we need to find a space at a time that works for everyone. The street that you propose is the corner of Willis Avenue in East 143rd Street. I believe that's into the block where the building where she lived. And together with that, also they'll put a QR code along on the light pole where the one block that's going to have a code renaming that will tell a biography, her history, and will come with a picture so folks who could pass by, because what the city council passed was a resolution to say that we just don't want to do street renaming. You want to have people understand why these names appear in the community, and so that impact goes as an education lesson for the different street codings that happens. And so you might want to make sure that whatever you need to fine tune as far as the biography is, as I see here, which is different folks that have so well written, you can work on that. But again, it has to pass several stages before it gets to that part. So it doesn't happen immediately. And again, like I said, the city council takes it up only twice a year. We will let you know again after this committee and after, if it passes the full board, that when the committee meeting comes up down at City Hall, so that you can make your testimony there and down at City Hall with the chairperson and the council member. I believe that's Council Member Elsie Castillo, who will. So we need to also work with that office to make sure it goes by. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so thank you. We'll move with a roll call.
The clerk will call the roll.
Yes.
Dante Ambrose, how do you vote?
Here. Yes.
Oh, wait, somebody made a motion.
Oh, the motion.
Okay.
Motion has been made.
I make a motion that we name, street code Marion E. Rose Way on the corner of Willis Avenue and 143rd Street.
I, Robert Vaughn, second that motion.
Discussion.
Any discussion? Opposition?
Roll call.
Now the roll call.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Okay. Dante Ambrose, how do you vote?
Say yes.
Robert Barnes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Carolyn Chamorro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Audrey De Jesus, how do you vote?
Yes.
Josephine Fernandez Byrne, how do you vote?
Yes.
Argelia Ortiz,
Yes.
Andres Madrigal,
Yes.
Jadine Boston,
Yes.
Michael Pimentel,
Yes.
Herman Francis Jr.,
Yes.
Rodney Lugo.
Yes.
Chair of the board is unanimous, motion passes.
Congratulations, family.
Thank you.
So as the chair mentioned, and I wanted to reiterate that the full board will be voting on whether or not to accept this committee's recommendation on the Thursday, January 29th at 6 p.m. Please reach out to the board office to get the location that that meeting will be held. But that will be as part of the agenda to ratify this committee decision. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right, I think we're done.
We're done.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Order. We haven't adjourned yet. Order.
Can we give them a
Order.
chance to go?
It's gonna be too much. She wants to go forward. Go ahead. You can go. Yeah. Whatever else you want to. Yes. I don't know, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, go ahead.
Yeah, the new mayor came in, he did some vetoes, he changed the house. We know this, we know this issue right here, Committee 401 has a very large segment of public houses in Nigeria. And we do know there's a movement going on to privatize public houses. A whole lot of cities across the country got out of the public houses. But when you study history of public houses got built for one reason only. Made it go out in the 30s. City workers could not afford to hire rent, so they built public houses. Now we find New York City the second most expensive city in the world to live in. Number one, Hong Kong. So where are those of us who live in public houses supposed to go? I just came from PSA 7 meeting. That's about public safety. And one issue there is about public safety and public housing. And what a whole lot of people is missing the point is housing police was created for one reason only. The Constitution and the NYPD said they could not patrol individual buildings. And so they created housing police to patrol individual buildings in 1952. The same reason why they created transit police in the late 30s. Grasping that particular fact, once again, and they keep on talking about all these folks coming in.
Order, please, order.
All these folks coming in. This is under municipal service. Because
Okay, you have to keep it under 2 minutes, Mr. Francis, please.
The chair has private.
Chair, we've got a time.
Yeah, he got about 30 seconds now.
under public houses, I'm looking to keep the residents here. My father served in the military in World War II along with his brothers. And he was a city worker who got into public housing. And to maintain that, to stop a whole lot of, I'm hearing a whole lot of mess about homeless also. Because New York City is the only city in the whole country where it's court mandated that anybody homeless is entitled to shelter. So you got a whole lot of places outside the city giving their homeless people one-way bus ticket to come to New York. And the one location they come to is Bronx, 139th Street. That's the only location that has a 24-hour intake center for every homeless person in New York City. Grasping that particular fact, I'm not moving. Based on my income.
Mr. Francis.
The thing is that this comes on the head, a reason why this comes on the head of the Municipal Service Committee, Committee 401, because all municipal services serve public housing. And we don't get together and mandate this, everybody's gonna be affected. Because I remember when they came up to Hope shows about 25 years ago, the city representative said that the mayor said that they're gonna build 90,000 apartments from Yankee Stadium all around Hunts Point. And as soon as they mentioned a forward house, a female jumped up, had a affordable for whom? I only have one question. If just half the apartments have one child, how many public schools you gonna build? I'm still waiting for an answer.
Okay, Mr. Francis, again, you went above your time, so please, you can bring that up to the football meeting.
Yeah, I tell you, because this, come talking about one this year, improving the quality.
So, Mr. Chairman, I can, we can work with you as leadership to compel the agency to appear that you're speaking to appear for this committee. Please talk to the chair after the meeting to ask we had the chief for Housing Bureau come before, so if you want to speak about public safety, PSA 7, we can call the chief. Without objection to chairman. Without objection, we have the chief of housing come.
All right, so I think, what's this?
Yeah, okay, I'm Argelia Ortiz, a board member. Old business is the sanitation department. I will, regarding the people who don't pick up after their dogs, it has become a big issue in our district. The dog situation. Thank you. Let's give them a chance.
Sorry.
Thank you for coming. We'll make copies of the flyers. So we'll help you with whatever celebration. It was nice meeting y'all. It was a great testimony you did. We're all gonna be in that celebration.
See you soon, hopefully Thursday, if you go back or. All right.
And you, I'm gonna be keeping it on you.
We're going to see about getting that census thing. That census thing, call me. All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
I was a little kid. Yeah, they used to throw me out. How was I doing this? I went to play.
Now you see how he's doing that. Yes, she was
Order, please.
She's waiting for them to leave, so we're gonna wait for her. But we're having a slight intermission.
I think that should be standard every time it's a street name. Let them.
Yes, well, my suggestion was that be done from the beginning. Before Mr. Francis spoke, that should have been done.
Right.
And I tried to cue the DM, but I realized that sometimes things don't run that smoothly. I realized that.
That's the way the record. The record needs to support you guys.
I know that, but yeah. So we're having a slight intermission. But this won't take long though.
We got about 30 more seconds to wrap up.
This will take maybe less than 30 seconds. When I was a kid, not only did they find the person who didn't pick up, they used to also take that animal away. That's how strict they were around. If you go to Central Park, Columbus Circle, even River, they sign $300. Whatever that, okay.
They gotta find you first.
Well, why isn't the law being enforced?
I was telling that they use picture of the dog moving at the time.
I mean, how do you enforce that?
Yeah, that doesn't enforce. I've approached people and I've gotten into arguments with them because
It didn't enforce at one point in history, all of a sudden it's not. Well, maybe you have to make them start enforcing.
Chairman, we're back.
Okay, so it's on the evening session now. Our intermission is now over. Okay. Starting this year, old business, of course, is regarding the dog pool situation all around our district. And I'm getting a little bit more aggressive with this, so I will be going to the precinct that first Wednesday of the month. And I will be representing on behalf of the community board. Our environmental committee has been speaking about this for a very long time. And interesting enough, I will also be getting in touch with the justice committees that are supposed to be representing us and all other organizations regarding our environment. The sanitation department is gonna get in touch with me also regarding that. But there are gonna have to be a lot of angles that I will have to take in order to advocate strongly about that situation. Our streets are getting more and more full of dog manure, okay, and it's at the point, the other day I was on Morris Avenue from 149th Street and people literally speaking tiptoe down the street, okay, because of how terrible that situation has gotten. But I do know, I have spoken even to personnel here at the Melrose Branch Library. The security guard told me the other day she had to close down the library until the maintenance could scoop up and sweep up all around it. At our community garden, we sweep up every day and every day it's dirty again. Okay, so I think something has to aggressively be done, and that's mainly what I want to say. Next month, Ms. Desiree Soto from La Casa de Shema, Rincon Criollo, right here in our district, is having a big situation with that. And all of us from community gardens, the Rainbow Garden, again, on 157th Street, every day they sweep up, every day it is dirt. Okay, there's really no excuse for that. During the holiday, people throw mattresses on top of the gate, all kinds of garbage, all kinds of debris. And somehow we are asking for the law to be enforced. So I will be going to the precinct again. We want to know I understand there's supposed to be an environmental officer that is supposed to be patrolling. So we have to now
One-
inquire.
One environmental officer?
I don't know how many of them are they, but that's why I will be personally attending a meeting the first Wednesday of the month. The precinct has that meeting, and I will be attending. And I will be bringing up that situation. I want to find out what is the information and what are the necessary for this law to be enforced. It's enforced in all the other
And
communities.
who enforces
Who
it?
enforces
Who
I-
enforces it?
The automatically.
1 minute left.
There is a law about you not picking up after your dog.
Man,
And that is a standard mandated law here in New York. But unfortunately, it is getting enforced in some neighborhoods and in some others it doesn't. Okay, you cannot go to Central Park over the club and do that because you will get a $300 fine. Okay, try putting your dog in front of a museum or right there at the park and not pick up, and it does get. So why isn't it getting enforced in some places, and why in some places yes and some places no, when this is a standard law? Like I said, I grew up around here. When I was a kid, they were so strict. Not only did the person get a summons, they used to also remove that animal. That's how strict they were. Okay, so, but I think if I'm asked, I have given so many complaints to 311, I can publish a book out of all the complaints that have been given.
What's come of the complaints?
The complaints continuously, the cases get closed. I have the case number and I have kept record of all the times that those complaints are being made in 311. Sometimes by the time they come the next day, within 311 works within 24 hours.
Mhm.
So not only do we call 311, we also call the Department of Sanitation.
But what do they
Like at the
do when
garden.
they come? What do
By the time they come, it's like a two-way thing. Let me give you an example. When we called up about a whole mattress being put in front of our gate.
That's different. I'm talking about the
But
pool.
when we called up about the pool, they will come before 24 hours and pick it up and clean it up. And then 311, yes, and then 311 will come around and say, okay, your case has been closed. We didn't see any pool over there in that area. That is the response that we're getting.
Who will pick it up and clean it?
They did send, sanitation did come up there and pick it up. So it's a back and forth. It's a back and forth runaround that we keep getting. Then the next day, every evening when people walk their dog, so in the morning, they'll come pick it up. By the afternoon, evening, there's more poo thrown there, okay? Then also, we report it again. We complain about it again. I want to know, therefore, why isn't there a patrol officer printing out summonses?
Okay.
Okay?
I'm gonna answer that.
So that when people don't pick up, I'm just saying, I think the law should be enforced.
How would you
Wait,
know?
let me answer, let me clarify something. We've had that situation in certain areas. When we've called and I went to the precinct, they said if they don't actually see the dog pooping, they cannot give them a summons. They have to actually see them defecating on the sidewalk. And as far as sanitation coming here, it's their preference if they want to clean the poop they have. Because I've seen it, but they're not obligated to, because it's the owner of the animal's supposed to. But
Okay.
again, they have to physically see the
They
dog
did explain
pooping.
that to
Okay.
myself, they did explain that to the other garden members, because we had a special meeting with them. Our question is, why isn't there someone on patrol doing that? But they're
They
doing
did it
it.
one time, years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody, we always had an officer on patrol in this area, and the job taken care of.
It was sanitation, I remember the public school law was put into place. And the debate at that time was very super warm. Should dogs be allowed inside the cities and apartment buildings? Oh, you see what happened? It went through, because we go to China, they don't allow no dogs in cities. And we go to Canada, and certain cities don't allow no dogs either. And at one time, there was no dogs allowed in Nitro. Then, on the some of the disability act, they allowed you. But that's all you got to matter.
Wait, Mr. Francis, give a chance to somebody.
Yeah, all right.
That is just one of many issues that we have in our community.
It's a health issue.
And it's a health issue, but we have so many, and we have become complacent, and it really upsets me.
Okay, well,
because-
my mission is to become uncomplacent.
Well, yeah, I'm with you, but at the same time, there's so many, they don't even clean our streets. I can't even remember the last time the sweeper was able to come down.
That's
Because cars don't move.
Mhm.
Cars do not move anymore.
No, they
There's
don't-
garbage, kids come out of the school, they throw garbage up and down the sidewalk.
Right.
The school down the block has a garbage pile, pyramid.
And dog poop all
And
over the
dog
place.
food, people come open the bags to get a stupid can because the schools
And
don't recycle. Could you believe this? Schools do not recycle, so they come and open the bags to take out one or two bottles or whatever. All that garbage is thrown down the block, whatever. This is what we're dealing with. But we have to get tough, okay? We can't allow these agencies to continue to get away with not doing their job, and we're letting them do it.
I agree, and I understand, and, again, this is a district with a lot of situations happening. I'm starting from
I
that
just wanna say
level.
that we give everybody equal time.
Okay,
That's
yes, I'm starting from that level, and I do believe that sooner or later, it could be resolved. It may
Okay.
take a while, and you're right, because this has been a back and forth thing now, actually for several years. I've been advocating about this.
Can you let him say something?
So I'm gonna say three things. The first is, as I was sitting, I was thinking, it's a new year. I haven't seen this
New
many people
mayor?
in this meeting. Well, new mayor, which might be a good thing.
Well, we merge committees too, there's two committees here.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah, that makes
So what I suggest is that, when you come with a complaint like this, that we forward something actionable to, I would say, the elected officials, obviously the committee first, then the general board, and then something that we could actually
Tangible, that we
present
can present, yeah.
to them and say, this is what we want, because we can't just say, oh, well, we're gonna go to the precinct meeting and we're gonna ask, what the situation is. I mean, we all know the answer we're gonna get. So it'll be better if we have something for them and say, listen, this is what we agreed upon. This is what we want you to do.
Okay, I agree with that, and I think that's a good idea
Can we
right
just let him speak for me?
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. So,
I got
now-
two more points.
So I wanna build on what everyone is saying is that, if the committee passes, the action item only to say we wanna compel the agency that's responsible for the issue to present for the board. But I think like Ms. Burns hinted on, we should mention generally everything that we're lacking and pass it as a motion of point of action that we want to have the participate, focus more on. So, for example, if Ms. Ortiz talked about poop, Ms. Burns talked about street sweeping, I'm sure other people talked about garbage, we can compel the Department of Sanitation, these to come before the committee to present generally all the services, things they've been doing, things they have not been focusing on, and to have a realistic conversation on focusing on issues. Like, again, a little bit what Ms. Burns is speaking about, we need to prioritize because we want to make sure that the resources, while poop is a big issue because it creates, and also harvests for rats to come and all other things, we have to make sure that when we bring them in, we hear what they have to say. But if we want to change, like say the board wants to focus on giving more tickets to, say, example, to a certain area where people are not moving their car or whatever, it has to be a full board, actionable item. So the committee can say, come, Department of Sanitation, tell us everything you're doing in our community, tell us what you're not doing. Then you guys pass a motion. We would like the board to say it's the sanitation. We want them to focus more on places where they're sweeping and double parked cars not moving and ticketing those double parked cars. We want to focus more on giving people who are not recycling, tickets for not recycling, whatever the action item has to be, but it has to be a committee-wide, then to the full board, because we don't need people to complaining to the board saying, I'm getting 30 tickets, I don't know how that happened, and the board needs to say, the whole board needs to be in unison saying, yeah, we're giving you tickets because our community is dirty and you're not moving your cars. Or your poop, you're not picking up after your dog, whatever that issue is, it has to be the focus has to be that the board passes that as an action item. The committee brings it up to bring the agency to bear, tell us what you're doing, tell us what you're not doing. Then we say, okay, we got this information. We're taking this to the board saying we want this, this, and this to be something we're focusing on because it's not being taken care of. So while we're hearing folks individually have issues, the committee needs to come to a conclusion on what they want to bring to the full board and what the district manager needs to enforce with the agency. That's my only
So
ask.
can we ask that each, being it's a new year, and we have new board members, that each of those agencies can come and do presentations?
If there, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, but it has to be that you're asking that the committee has to direct the staff to make that happen.
Okay.
So that's up to because we have to figure, so we only have,
10.
2 hours, 10 meetings. So
Okay.
and you guys oversee a lot of agencies. So what are the focal issues that you want? Because as the district managers are understanding this new administration, the new agency that's now replacing the CAU, which is called Mass Engagement, we have high expectations about how this administration wants to definitely work closely with community boards to get things done. But we have to be really focused and about what we want to do, because you want to make sure that is a united front and an effort to really help make the set a standard for South Bronx services.
You see,
The second thing is, I use the 311 app a lot. I think all of you guys should download it. It's very easy to use. It's not complicated at all. And it's much better than calling.
Then calling, oh yeah, takes
So,
a minute,
yeah.
takes a minute.
And I'm all over the city, and whatever I see that I report, and I'll give you a very brief example. I was in Brooklyn on J and Willoughby Street, and I saw a big pothole, and I got on the app right away. I reported it. About a week or less later, the pothole was already fixed.
Yes.
By reporting it through the app.
Yes.
Now in our and I said the good, and I'm gonna say the bad. In this particular neighborhood, yeah, in this particular neighborhood, when you make those complaints, they close them without investigating or solving them.
Sometimes, yeah.
So that is an actionable item that we can
Yeah,
bring that up, because I've seen it a lot. Like, as I'm on the app all the time, what they do is they say they came and they saw, and they cleaned it up or they found no condition, but it's exactly the same way.
So those are things that we can follow through, because it's just something that's really measurable.
Right.
If you have a couple ticket that was closed without getting a response for it, you track it down. We can also get all these together, bring them in here. And that was the reason I was telling Mr. Chair last time that I would prefer that in February, March, April, we have all these agencies coming in.
That's what
and talk
I
about
said.
new laws.
That's what I said.
That's the first thing, because you sit down, they change some laws, we don't know about it, and they should come before us and discuss the new laws in the book that was implemented this year, and then add to that many other questions that we have.
Before my last point.
The old laws that's on the book.
This committee, I think, is probably one of the most important ones, because Mr. Jordan has a direct meeting with all the agencies every month. So we should be pumping out crazy actionable items that he could just tell them, and give it to them right in their face, because that's what we need. And on that note, the last point is, one of the actionable items I requested a year ago was to get a traffic study for Third Avenue to change the sequence of the lights.
I remember that.
And they still haven't done. That was last session, early last year.
That's what they changed for the bus route.
Yeah, with the BLT.
So that's what we gotta be doing. We gotta be pressing these people hard about.
That's what they changed the bus route.
So are we including the elected officials in this discussion?
Absolutely.
Because one of the candidates campaigned on things these damn streets.
There you go.
So we need to make sure that we strategically put something together and give it to them and invite them all.
Which candidate was that?
Justice Sanchez.
Okay.
The laws and
Also, what I also noticed that our elected officials have not been attending our meetings.
That's right.
That's really a lack of respect to us, to our community, and that we need to bring that to their attention and right.
Yeah.
Because we need to make them aware that we voted for you, we voted you in, the constituents want to see you. Because apparently now they don't show up even at the general board meeting anymore.
Exactly.
And let alone saying come to the committee.
Only to elected.
They used to, well, we need to bring that to their attention.
Yes,
So at least they can come in here. Is there any way we can start inviting them to come to the meeting?
Yeah,
Where we can kind of voice our opinion.
So that is your prerogative. If there are action items, then that is something that we should discuss that in an executive committee meeting.
Right.
Where should elected officials be coming to what committees? There is a committee, so that's not to stop there. You guys should discuss it in executive committee and your other officers about how that works out. Elected officials are expected to at least appear quarterly at general board meetings. But again,
I don't know for yearly or because I never seen them.
But I'm saying particularly to this environmental committee, if you promise the people that you're gonna do something, clean these damn streets, and that's what we are here talking about, so you should show up here and.
Yeah.
And let us voice out.
You just got sworn in. You just got sworn
But
in.
the solution is very simple right there.
Campaign on that. So,
Because the solution is
play
very
the streets.
So the solution is very simple. The laws and the mandate already there. I remember when they put in
Yeah, go
place.
ahead, Mr. Francis. We have spoken all.
Understand that, but we're going to.
So give him a minute to speak
Okay.
also.
Okay, so like elected officials hardly ever show to the general board meeting, so in a congressional district, there are people that are assigned to particular things that they do in the community, like environmental stuff. I don't know if Richie Torres at AOC has it, but when I used to be an intern at Congressman Serrano's office, I was in the environmental, with the environmental director. So I was going to the board meetings representing the elected officials. So, because, my point is, if they don't even go to the general board meetings, it's likely they're not gonna come here unless it's something very big, major, so.
We're talking local politicians.
Yeah,
Those are the guys that
No, but they also have people that their job is to do work in certain.
Yeah, I was the chief of staff to the city council, and anything that came from the community board, we made sure that the council member came and heard the committee. So it doesn't, we're not peasants that when they gotta send a representative. If we ask for action, they need to come and listen to us at some point.
But see, here's the mandate right here. I remember when John Lynch became mayor, at the pushing cartel.
Mr. Francis, let's get things in order.
I'm not talking about what
we all listen, with all the due respect.
Yes.
I like you to speak all the time.
Yeah.
But you're taking too much time.
I'm not gonna take too much time.
No, hold on 1 second. Let me speak. We're gonna give you 60 minutes. 1 minute. 60 minutes.
That's too long.
When John Lindsay became mayor, it was mandated that every business throughout this entire city was to get the front of the business every day. And every homeowner or tenant proposed the same thing. In the beginning, that was enforced. Those mandates and laws still on the book, but unfortunately, are not being enforced in certain areas. When you go below 96th Street, you will see that boom, it's a complete different world than what's up there. Those streets down there clean. They also enforce all the side of street walking. That's still in effect, but they do not enforce it up there. Why? Because the people up there do not come to these meetings and have it enforced. Also, they don't come out and vote like they're supposed to. Because when I used to go to local community board meetings downtown, the politicians that represent the council members show up, not their representative. But once you get above the line, because I'm gonna finish up with this. When Ed Koch, in his second term as mayor, appointed Ben Ward as police commissioner. Ben Ward brought Ed Koch in the middle of January up to 8th Avenue between 115 and 116th Street.
All right, your time is up.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And Ed Koch said he never saw traffic like that.
I wanted to know, is this the only thing that's on the old business, like the poop scoop duty thing? Or like, is there more to the old business?
You can bring it up.
The signal timing was very old business. Was up there.
They have our own business.
Go ahead.
So,
Did you have an old business?
No, I just wanted to know what was on the agenda for the old business. We've been on this for a while. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. There's two things I would like to say. So one of them is our old business. The other one is responding to what's happening here. It's like I'm basing it on my experience as an intern in Congressman Serrano's office. Okay, so I was with the environmental liaison. That was Siddhartha Sanchez. Now he's with the Bronx Alliance. So it was his responsibility and my responsibility to deal with things in the district that had to do with environmental stuff. That was his job. So we went to meetings, and I went to meetings. He went as well to community board meetings. I also went to meetings. I also went to different organizations, and we spoke to them to see, get the information as possible and see what we could do, and give the information to the congressman. So I'm telling you from that experience. So if elected officials everywhere, and we are demanding them to come here, only one committee when we have like 6 or 7 committees, it just like you gotta pick one thing. So that's one thing. The other one has to do with NIPA. NIPA wants to do a workshop that has to do with energy workshop to educate people about energy issues. So
For the whole board?
for the whole board. So there was supposed to be 2 projects, but since nothing happened in December, and I'm not gonna blame anybody. So the only thing that could happen now is to have an area, most likely maybe here, in order to invite people from the community, and then they will give a workshop regarding weatherization. So there was supposed to be 2, but it's not gonna be 2 anymore. So it's weatherization workshop, and then they will have boxes. I forgot what they're called. Energy stuff, energy kits that they want to give out. So that till they email, because the last one nothing happened. So I'm no longer the chair, so there's certain things I cannot do anymore. So it's up to you to make that happen. Because you get in a space and talking to NIPA and doing that, and they just getting that together, because I was trying to do that for 2 or 3 months and nothing happened. So that's. So I'm not gonna blame anybody.
What I could say something about that, Mr. York. I think now, and I've said this, we say this in here, that this is a teamwork. That's an area that you have a very full expertise. And I always say this is you are a valuable member with all your expertise. There's nobody here that can challenge what your accomplishment in that area. If that's something that you feel that our community needs, I don't see why you cannot pursue that.
Oh no, I'm not sorry to stop. I have been pursuing it. Because certain players don't do what they need to do, and I'm gonna be upfront. And I take it easy with stuff. I'm a type of person that's more like quiet and things like that, and I don't pressure people. But there's certain things that they will email, and there were talks. If for 2 or 3 months nothing was done.
Well, my question.
So, and then,
listen.
Yeah.
Let's do this. When you talk about players, you may be mentioning a player that doesn't even know he's playing. That is in the team. You know, I mean, let's get that straight. Because right, like I said to you again, when it comes to that environmental thing, I will say this: you are very knowledgeable where I can't even mention. You understand? For years that I know you're doing it. Now, if it's something that you feel that needs to be done for our community, really, you take the leadership on that. It's not because I'm sitting here that I should be. No, you take the leadership on that. We're gonna follow through, because again, under your guidance, for what you know, we are sitting here. Every one of us has their own domain of expertise that can have a stronghold on it. Now, if you say that some players are not acting up, maybe they're not aware of what needs to be done. Now, and if you do know what should be done, educate us, put us on a track. And this, we're all going to be, because right now you are suffering, we are suffering too, because nobody's getting anything. a training as such you're talking about right now, if it's something that you think gonna be beneficial to our community,
And don't get discouraged, don't
don't
hold
get,
back.
no, you're not doing it for us, you're doing it for all of us, for the whole community. So, the district manager is there to coordinate things. Have you ever contacted him and say, hey, I want attention to this?
You have your chairman here,
They
and
go,
you send your emails to the chairman and everybody, and
That's
then
what
it
I'm
gets, and
saying.
get moved.
no,
Now, I'm saying moving forward.
people are making assumptions that I haven't done certain things.
Oh,
I did that already. I made it to the leadership, nothing was done. I spoke to another person, nothing was done. And then emails, nothing was done.
So,
Three months or so, and then at least be clear, like I made a mistake.
No.
No, it just, I don't, it.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Andres. I'm one of the committee members, new members here. So I'm not really sure what the procedure is after this, but it seems like we all have different ideas, different things we want to implement, but there's really no, let's say, clear path forward on how we're going to do this. We say we're a team, but I think we should have maybe 2 or 3 actionable items before we adjourn, just so it's not just like a gossip session or just a session where we just talk among each other, but rather just get something going for next meeting, something for this upcoming committee meeting, but also something for the general body meeting, so we can all have a clear path forward instead of maybe some confusion on how to, extend forward. Maybe I'd love to see that workshop idea. I could extend it to my network as well. Maybe send that to, have our committee emails and stuff like that, so we can send it out. But yeah, I think we should just have like 2 or 3 actionable items that we should have set forth, so we have a clear path on what to do for the next meeting, and then we can convene on that at the next meeting. Yeah.
right, and then I'm gonna just about the policy. So the policy for the board is that we cannot operate in silos, or where ideas do come in, it needs to come up as part of the agenda for the full committee. The full committee needs to agree that it's the actual item that the committee wants to do, then it becomes implemented. But if the committee has to say, this is an actual item that we want to do as a committee, and then we go from there. Yes, there have been back and forth communication about doing a workshop, but the committee has to agree, so we can add it to the agenda. And then the committee says, okay, we agree that this is something we want to do as an actual item as a committee, because similar to what education and youth has done with the book bag, with the book drive, they're all voted on it. They all decide who's going to work the workshop, how we're going to outreach as coordination. One of the good ways that I think that way we can all communicate more effectively, especially if something is part of my office that's nothing that happens actually, and I'm going to talk directly without talking in the air, is that we should create a committee WhatsApp app, which people all communicate, so everybody hits it and knows, hey, this came in, we didn't hurt, what did we do to do, who's interested, what dates work out, etc. And that will facilitate so that we're not operating as 2 separate committees or one person who has great ideas, but that we're all sharing, and then we can pitch in and say how we want to help. So yes, if it's my office, then I accept that responsibility. But if it's something you want to talk more about what actually the workshop is about, so that the committee passes it as something they want to do together, and then we agree also to create a WhatsApp, because we have it for the executive committee, we have it for education and youth. This committee doesn't have one, so folks can join in the discussion and join you on that on this amazing workshop we want to get started. That was just my only suggestion. So the policy is, as I understand, the executive committee agreed on recommendation. Someone has a good idea, bring it to the committee passes it, so that no one person, chair or one member says, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's called operating in silos. Then the committee then joins and that help facilitating, coordinating that workshop or that event. Hey, I'm available this day, or I want to help in this way, or etc. And then it's the staff works for having an office ready, helping with outreach, making copies, creating flyers, whatever. That's as I understand the policy is. I don't know, Steve, you want to add something?
That's correct.
Is that right? Okay, thank you.
Well, usually when the email come around, and the environmental thing. You see, I stay back because again, I'm a person that if I don't know it, I don't know it. I don't fake it. So, and I know that he's on an email. So what I do, I just stay back because I know that he's gonna drive it. And my expectation that he drive that particular area. He has worked on it so many years that right now, if we lose him, we're gonna lose that contact. And it's gonna take a cycle to bring it back up again. He has already established a lot of things within the community under that environmental issue. Now, if we don't continue with that means everything he has done disappear. And I'm not sure somebody else is gonna come tomorrow and have the same drive that he drive. He has to make it work. So that's what when I see the email around, again, I stay back. Only thing I look on the email is your name. Once I see your name, I just stay back. I figure that you're gonna drive it. But if there's anything you need me to do, or particularly, listen, I have no problem. Really, again, I admire the thing that you do on effort and the personal time that you put in for this community. There's no way for me to say you can be challenged on that, but just follow your lead for the benefit of our community.
Yep. Well, I'm fine with that. Just be clear about that. We have a transition period, and there were things in the other. So
air it out now. We're starting on the
so we were. That's why I'm bringing it right now because there were like three things that were never done. It was like, it was like how you say, like I forgot the lady's name, the older lady that she said, this isn't about you, this is about the community. So this is about the community. So he made an effort. So, but there has to be good communication between people.
The passion.
And then also implementation of certain things that should be done. I'm not gonna put a blame game or anything. I don't wanna do that. That's not really helpful. I want things for the future. I send you the emails because you have to read it, even though my name is there. Because you're included there because you're the chair. I'm no longer the chair. So whatever comes to me, it comes to you. It comes to you.
That's what I say to you. You understand? I read it.
You make the decision. You create the goals. I don't know how you're gonna do it. It's up to you. Or what
no, like I said, no. Let's don't make this. I have told you you have the expertise.
Yeah.
And I have said this, and I'm gonna say it again. Okay. Don't expect me. You cannot get a dog out of the egg. You understand me? That's clear. So we cannot make it even scientifically. So now my expectation, when I see anything under that area, once I see your name on it, I'm just following your lead. And I'm telling you this, I'm not gonna go back to school today to learn environmental thing just to come and implement it. No, you have it, you have that expertise, you have the experience.
So what are the workshops?
The only difference between you and I is because I'm a chair, but that has nothing to do with what our community needs. It's just a leadership thing. So if you feel that it's something that we need to do, you index me, hey, we need to work on this, I will follow your lead on it. But if you waited for me, it's not gonna happen because you started a long time ago, I don't even know where to start. And I've been saying this to you from the time I've been in this board, that what you're doing, if you will let you go, that section is gonna die out. But if you feel that by just thinking that, because nobody's doing anything, I'm just gonna lay back, that means everything you've done yourself, you wasted it all that time.
Yeah.
So you have an obligation for yourself, for your well-being,
and your passion
your passion to it, to making sure that the agenda get pushed over. Mr. Jordan is right there. I'm not too, sometimes I go the whole day without looking at email because I don't have time to do it. But what I do, I got him on my speed dial. I said, Mr. Jordan, do me a favor. Could we have that thing done next month, for instance? I do that. Because if I'm gonna go through the email, you know how many email I get a day? A whole lot of it. I swear to God. I get just a couple of hours, I'm dead. So if you feel anything, index me, text me. I have no problem with making it happen. But the expertise you have, bro, I gotta go back to school for 20 years to to come closer to what you do and on that area. And I'm serious. Now we should be honored to even having somebody dedicated like you for what you do in this community.
I just, like I said, I just mentioned that for just to have better communications with people doing their roles, and then we all do many different things. So I had to work. I work 2 jobs and I have to do other stuff. So is somebody that you email or call doesn't do what they need to do, and you gotta keep pressuring the person and nothing gets done, is that it gets exhausting. So it gets exhausting, and then after that, it's like leadership. Even though the lady says like titles don't matter, in the real world they matter. People don't talk to you. Like if you have a chair or whatever role, people tend to talk to you more in a different way than they do with you having a title. I noticed that in my life. So it does.
But the title don't do the work.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't do the work.
It doesn't matter. The title gives you access to do the work.
I don't agree with that.
That's just my experience. It's like, like, I don't know, but my experience in my life has been, you have a master, you say you have a master, everybody want to talk to you. You say you have a GD or whatever, people react differently. I've seen that in my life. So are you saying that? So
that's people a social complexity.
People have different.
I think it's a social complexity,
yeah,
because
people
if you
have
have
different
people who are doing what you're doing, the guy that changed the tire on a car. If he tell you he has a master's degree, he changed the tire, you expect him to do better than the guy that didn't do, because you figure that he actually knows what he's doing. You see? So that's the way I think. I call it complexity, the social complexity we create among ourselves. I'm a person that I believe that if somebody is doing something well, I remember years ago, I'm not going to take too much time, is that years ago when I came in this country, I noticed that they were never asked, you were applying for a job, they never tell you to bring your diploma. Until there was an era where people were still bringing fake diploma came out. If you can recall, in the early 80s, there was an Indian doctor in the Harlem Hospital that was there for so many years with that. He did not have a degree, but he was a doctor in India.
Right.
So until the incident happened here, that's what created this thing of bringing a diploma in. But in this country most of the time was, you know how to do it? Come on, start tomorrow. If you do it, everything goes well. And that was back then. Until fake things start coming in, then the diplomas start coming out. Come to find out, even now, the ones that are coming out of school don't really know much of anything that they learned from school. They only know how to do computation. That's it. So I'm just trying to say that really, we are as a teamwork here. Please, let's work as a team for the betterness of the community. It's not a matter of you. We all work. We don't get paid. I don't know if anybody get paid here.
Only him and him.
So the dudes too. So we
Diana.
can keep them here to midnight.
They feed me once in a while.
I don't lose their mental.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I feel like I understand what you're saying, Cesar, and I think it's unfair, like, for you to feel the way that you feel, especially if you're in a unit where you're supposed to rely on people for support. It's unfair for people to keep telling you, well, like, you could do more, you should have did this. And I understand also what you're saying. It's like, you have the expertise, so you shouldn't rely on me because, whatever. But I feel like, not to say that you could have done anything better, but maybe a different approach that can be taken now. If there is something that you would like to be spearheaded, maybe like, I'm not saying a formal proposal, because I don't know, I'm a new member. I'm not saying a formal proposal wasn't made before, but maybe things should be dated on when you need a response by, or like everything should have a deadline. If you're at your job and your boss asks you to do something, you ask them when you want it done by, so that way the level of expectation can be on both sides. And I brought this up at the general meeting for December. Like, I just think that every committee has a lack of organization and structure when it comes to like the expectations, because it's like, he had said it. He said, team players may not know that they're playing on a team. If you don't give someone proper instruction, or like if you don't make everyone aware that there's something that needs to be done, then of course it's gonna fall through the cracks. And it may be left on you to keep speaking up about it if it's something that you're passionate about. It's not fair, but that's just unfortunately how it would happen. So it's not to say like don't keep bringing it up. You absolutely should be bringing it up, but maybe a different approach needs to be taken. Put dates on it, or ask people individually, like, hey, would you like to work with me on this? So that way you can make a team. So that way you know that you have support and you can hold somebody accountable for certain actions. That's just all I wanted to say, because I feel like organization is like really the biggest conflict. That's what I'm hearing from everyone, even with your issue. Like, it's a matter of organization and structure that's lacking.
I got a quick follow-up to that. So I was, just quick backstory. I used to be part of 6 executive boards in my time at college. And something we always used to do was always have a group chat. And I think that resolves 2 things. I think it resolves accountability. So I know Cesar, you say you sent it over to him. That's just between you and him. But if you send it with the WhatsApp group chat with all of us in there, that means we are all knowledgeable that you sent it to him, and it keeps us all accountable too, and it keeps us in the loop, which brings me to my second point, which is about communication. I think once we're all in there, because I hopefully the work doesn't stop here when we're inside this committee. I know it doesn't. I know you're constantly like looking at stuff like the flyer, like the workshops and stuff like that. You can send it in that group chat so we are all aware as well, and that amplifies the communication. Let's say we are not in the space, obviously we only have limited time here. I think we should be speaking with each other even when we're not in here, and that makes it more easier and to communicate, and that's something I've learned from my experience too. I know after the meetings, we tend to, send each other texts on WhatsApp, where we use GroupMe in college, and that then makes it so much easier than emails or something like that. So I think I strongly encourage us to move to hopefully add everybody to WhatsApp so we can communicate easier and become more accountable of each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
The final thing I would say, I'm against Meta, so I don't touch nothing with Meta, including WhatsApp. That just
GroupMe works, yeah.
Yeah, so we could do GroupMe and other things, because I make certain decisions in my life that, like, I don't have a license, I don't drive, I don't like cars. And the other one, I don't touch nothing with Meta because they're very destructive to those decisions. So I know even at work, they force me to do WhatsApp. But it does certain things like certain choices you make in your life, and they all come with consequences. When you make these choices, because you need to have certain values in your life. And my value is that Meta is not doing anything good for the world. That's why I don't use WhatsApp. So, but if you just GroupMe and other things like that, it's fine. But, I'm a little bit stubborn too. So that's also my fault too. Mm-hmm. So I get it. So I understand what you meant. So I get that. Remember when you become a chair, you're not trained to be a chair. You learn to be a chair on the go.
As you're going
along. So the last time Paula had a conversation about what's your biggest strength, what is your biggest weakness. And my biggest weakness is like I have problems delegating. And I'm also very stubborn. And I'm also type the one that likes certain things done a certain way in a stubbornness type. So in this thing, I also have to learn myself how to go back a little bit and then learn from what you're saying. You have a different approach, things like that, because we deal with different personalities, different people. People like doing things differently, different strategies, and sometimes we have conflict with that. And then we just have to learn on the go and for me, it was like a chair, and then that, and then I wanted to do certain things this way. I wanted to have the green corpse. I wanted to have the poop map. I wanted to have those things done, but it was more like, once you don't know how to communicate these things for people to do this stuff, and things fall apart. So right now I'm just learning. So that's what I can say. I just brought it up so we could have better communications. We can move things forward, and then don't repeat what we've done before in the past. Because I've been here for 10 years, and many times I've seen the same repetition. It's like what are we learning? The new person comes in, the same thing is happening, lack of communication, blah 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 blah. They go at each other. People are political at times, which you have to be true here. Here is politics too. So you have to deal with that fact, and then there's certain people. I'm not gonna say any names, but they have a certain mentality of what they want to do next. I'm here to fix my neighborhood. That's it, and that's the last thing I'm saying.
Okay. So can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
I understand you completely. I know exactly where you're coming from because we're both in the same similar situations. About the transparency, it's true what you're saying, that we have to form a WhatsApp chat. Communication has to be real, open, and honest. No hurt feelings. We're all passionate about what we're doing in this community because we are servicing our community. That's why we're here. This is a volunteer position. We're here. We listen to everybody. We support each other. I love what you were saying and everything. And there's hurt feelings. There's disappointment. I get it completely. So moving forward, we're gonna see how this is gonna progress because now we're voicing what we feel, and everybody's understanding where we're standing at and where we're going. Right, Mr. Ambrose? It's not a matter of chain of command. It's a matter of transparency and communication. That's all we need to move forward on. That's it. That's all I have to say.
So can we move to like maybe create one, or like can we use the like phone numbers to just create one?
Yeah, does anybody, can I add to that?
Yeah.
Does anybody any objection of because in these apps, I know that your personal numbers come up. So does anybody any objection to their personal numbers being used in an app for communicating for this committee?
No.
That includes everyone, including the full board chair and staff. All right. In that app, then you will also, you agree to be clear and concise about exactly the type of workshops that you are speaking to, so that and ideas about who are the partners and how that workshops will be coordinated, and so that different people could assume different roles in that work and developing that workshop.
Mm-hmm. So the workshop is already developed by NICA. You just have to have a place. They've done that already. They were supposed to have two of them. The one in December and one in April for kids.
Right.
So the one they have the devices and everything. They have the workshops is weatherization. They just looking for dates.
Right. I just want to be evidently clear.
Yeah.
While we have great things about doing a workshop, anything that they use this space, the committee has to ratify. They have to say, we agree to do this workshop. So there's not an Anthony workshop, a Stephen workshop, an Ambrose workshop. It is the committee who's coordinating that workshop, because the staff sometimes while we can work the workshop, we stay facilitating the entire thing, and this thing should be a committee members together working that workshop, doing the different details, helping and assisting, helping with outreach, encourage people to participate, because that's the big thing. Because I think what happens is that we have one or two people who are stuck with outreach or staff, and there's just so many things that we're all trying to accomplish. I want to maximize folks' participation. And I understand that we're all volunteers, but everything works with the success of all of us helping with teamwork and helping with this outreach. If you can't attend the workshop, I gave it to my entire email account, my contact list, or whatever the assignments are that everyone, whoever's leading it, communicates. And because then I just don't want to leave only the expectation only on our team, because now we're down one, and I don't want to project something that not likely that we can help 100% with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll create that. Everyone no one objects. I'll create the app. I gotta download it and then create the app, and then we'll work with that. Steven, you familiar with that?
So for GroupMe, you need to send a link for them to join. So it might be a little bit difficult. You need to download an app called GroupMe, and then from then you would have to install it. Or we could just create just like a normal text message chat. That works.
However it works, because WhatsApp was easier. It's easier.
GroupMe, what's the name of it?
GroupMe.
Yeah, I got like everybody's doing the WhatsApp. So
Isn't there also another one that
Cesar doesn't want
I
to do
forget
that.
what it's called, but like jobs use it? Like,
Slack or?
yes, Slack.
That you also need a link to join.
No,
You can also help.
You can
You gotta pay for it, you gotta pay for it, yeah.
Just do a
Get
group
half an
text.
hour talking about it here when everybody's here face to face. You know,
Just in the committee.
in the committee, just.
So that means that it's not gonna happen until February, because my
Well,
understanding that the committee already has commitments for agencies to
Okay,
appear
but
on February.
that's fine, as long as we could relay that to them, that it cannot be done in February and maybe in June or something, as long as.
Whatever you guys carry out, because you guys are gonna work it.
Exactly, so the transparency is there, the communication is there, it's fine, you know, to me, I'm close to 50, so I'm always been a person that when we communicate, I like seeing people in person. I just mean that's how I just grew up, so I had difficulties with what he's saying, because I think it's very impersonal at times, so, yeah, but I'll be like, well, sometimes you gotta make decisions and be like to help out, and people,
I'm just trying to manage expectations, because I wanna say that it's not 100% that this committee everyone is here every month, even though we require it, but everyone is here every month, and so I'm just trying to manage the expectation for people to communicate. And so I understand your dislike for Meta apps. Whatever you guys facilitate, our team is ready to assist with that. Maybe just do it through Zoom. I don't know. However you guys want to communicate. I don't know. Is that a meta? Is that meta too? I don't know. You tell me. I'm just trying to feed you the ask you're asking for.
Chess, I feel like you would have to. Sorry.
No.
You would have to spearhead this. Like, I know you're tired of it all being on you, but like, if you're the one with the reservation, then you have to come with a solution. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
So, yeah, that's what I said. And the solution is half an hour, us together, talking. This is not going to take too long. It's like we know that we know what they want. They know what they want to give the weather station, and then some devices. Our role is to get a space and to help out with outreach. That's the two things we have to do. So then. To right now, because we decide that it can be in February, so then we could just decide that it could be later on in another month. And that gives us more time as well to do outreach, because you need about 3 to 4 weeks to have good outreach efforts. Because you do it right now, February, you know.
And the weather.
And the weather too, so that's
spring
exactly. We're planning ahead, so it'll be like, okay, it cannot be done right now. So most likely we could say that maybe it's in March or on June or something. So we have a date, and then as part of the agenda, could do all business for like 10 minutes to go back to that to see what's happening. And that's it. I don't think you have to be well.
Okay, so when we do
WhatsApp,
all business,
WhatsApp.
you be prepared to present every time we have a meeting, and we will get into it for that 10 or 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Is that acceptable?
That's acceptable.
Okay.
I'll do that.
That's just one workshop. You said 2. Is it 2 workshops?
Oh, right now, before it was 2, but right now it's just one.
Can you draft
It's
Can you
one.
draft something that's like, because I'm better with like paper products, so something that's like very straightforward and clear, like who, what, when, where, why, and how, like, and what's your expectation of the goal? I know that you're just looking for a space, but it's like, how can we help you with that? Like, do you understand what I'm
Like
asking?
a trinary or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
basically something that's very
Run a show or
straightforward.
whatever it is.
Yeah, something that's very straightforward, that's direct, who, what, when, where, why, and how, and what's your vision, so that way we can know like where to support you at, or like what to, what, yeah.
Sorry.
And looking at the calendar that we already have, the January calendar, February calendar, March calendar, that's what we sent out in 3 months. Is the space available? Do we have to look for another trainer space, et cetera, et cetera? I want to make it so, because the space is pretty active now. This is an active space, and it's going to get more active.
I want to, like, similar to what Michael was saying, and similar to what you're saying, Caesar, what will be a direct course of action therefore? I'm gonna write this down right now. What kind of help can I give you directly being from this committee? That's what I wanna know,
Right, I
okay?
don't know, Chair, you wanna keep the meeting open to do that, or do you wanna do that now? You let me know.
It's okay.
8 o'clock, I got a test tomorrow, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so-
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do all have to be leaving soon.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
So I don't know, so maybe you
yeah.
can talk to some people after you feel comfortable,
Mhm.
talk to people after, I mean, it's up to the chair, I don't know if you want to keep the meeting on.
Like I said again, it's an area that really,
Will you think about how
She's
you
a-
want us to help you?
want us to
Yeah,
help.
that would be-
And
That's
then
all.
for the next meeting, you bring a list of things that you would want us to do.
Mhm.
That's,
Okay,
that's,
is
that's the
that
best
fair?
approach.
Okay,
So can we also just create a group chat of some sort,
no.
so we can stay in communication?
I think we could all just give
You know-
Cesar our contact and he can reach out to who he wants if he needs help.
You know,
You're a
I
different
got,
generation and IT person than we
you know,
are.
I got in trouble today,
I'm super-
but
I
I got in
super
trouble
on my
today with my
email
boss by saying I kept looking at my phone too much.
Eh?
I got in trouble by my boss today because I kept looking at my phone too much because I kept looking at the things that are happening and people sending me emails in this. So that's why I'm trying to reduce digital stuff because,
Phones.
you
So
know,
let's do everything, and we just
That's
spend
the only
extra
reason
time
why.
to.
Yeah.
So Chair, whatever.
All right, so we make a motion to adjourn.
I want you to Jesus adjourn this meeting.
I second, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Can you get a copy of the,
A calendar? Yes.